Hi everyone, I'm Bruce Schwartz. Thanks so much for connecting with me. To the new subscribers who have just arrived, this video is going to help you understand a little bit about my technique. I know that I'm advanced in my findings on the moon, and often I'll forget to mention certain things to to help you guys understand what's going on. So without rushing anything, we're going to go step by step, and in this video we're going to understand a lot, and then I'll proceed slowly from here. But again, go back into the videos, everyone. You'll love some of the findings that we've seen and the progression of it all. Thank you and welcome, and thanks for the interest, everyone. Thanks for connecting. Great. Plato crater, we're going to zoom up on it here. It's the dark circle that you see there on the screen, almost perfectly symmetrical. Well, when I zoom up and when I see the surface, I get a lot closer. And when I do zoom up, it changes a lot of the way we're looking at the photo. And I change the field of depth, the depth of field, and I show an angle like we were landed on the surface and looking, for example, off a mountaintop. Now here we'll go to Plato crater. Oh yeah, what do you think of that? A lot different, isn't it? But it takes me a while. Now, look at the top right, out of the crater. Do you see the other lines and geometrical shapes that are there that look blurry? Those are what I'm magnifying a whole page size. Do you understand? The magnification process is very deep. I'm doing several magnification steps. It's working. Okay, a little bit of a blur here, you say? I think it's pretty damn good to be able to see the surface. And hey, maybe there's a haze over the top. If there is, we'll never clarify it. A haze is a haze. Whether we're on Earth or on the moon, if there's a haze, it's going to remain a haze. Maybe the haze will move. Look at what we're looking at. It's beautiful. Why less than 50 miles beside Plato crater are all these objects there and nobody sees them? What I'm pointing at in this photo is the transient lunar phenomenon that NASA themselves have claimed is behind Plato crater. Look at all the objects that are around it. Look at the top left of this photo. You can literally see that we're coming close to land, and we're looking at an overhead view of structuring that's beginning. The structures have the same reflectivity as the surface. There's no other way around this. This is what everyone in the world is going to have to understand. That's one thing I know will be part of the disclosure. It's a fact. The structures are the same color as the surface and have the same reflectivity as the surface itself. Upon further examination of the surface, we can see that what people perceive as being pixels are not pixels, but instead independent objects and or structures on the surface of the moon. Again, here we see the structuring has the same color or reflectivity as the surface. Upon examining these objects, look at the bottom left screen, for example. We can clearly see that these are structures that are thought out, are actually placed on both elevated and descending levels on the surface. They're connected to each other. There are dome structures, independent colors to different structures. There's a path, there's an overall pattern when you see the surface, and the proof is all there. Yet people are not understanding it. It's going to take a while. We'll take our time, we'll view the surface, and we'll come to understand it a lot better. The surface holds many different types of objects and or structures that we can see. Here, for example, if they are what people perceive as lava tubes, upon, again, closer examination of these lava tubes, they're connected in ways that look very unnatural, meaning it looks like an object possibly. Hey, I'm taking a guess here, wires maybe that are covered in this protective film, very, very thick, never, of course, to be hit by asteroids, because they say that this surface is even protective of asteroids, against asteroids or meteors, right? Why am I saying this? Because NASA is looking into these lava tubes, not these in particularly, but lava tubes like these perhaps, to build a base because they would be protected from asteroids and meteors. This is a beautiful photo of Covey Hill, Quebec, seen from on top of the mountain, looking back at all the towns in the Montérégie right here. And you know what? I upped the exposure, I put it in black and white, and I've added a little bit of brightness, and you can't even see that there are structures. There are structures in this photo from the bottom to top, and in the forest, of course, with all the peaks protruding, passing over it, and all you can see is a satellite tower to the left there, and you can't see anything else. You take down the exposure, and that's what I'm doing on the moon to be able to see a better surface. So like this was a moon photo, well, here we're already starting to see the beginning of structures with this photo that was totally exposed, overexposed. Just to give you an idea, this is the principle, basic idea of what I'm doing on the surface of the moon. There's no rocket science to it. The surface, as you see here, moving right along, the big structures or objects, the white, okay? You have the gray, right? In both photos that you see little gray bumps that seem off-white as color. But there's a haze, and that haze is not a haze. It's structures. I'm trying to tell you guys that we're seeing structures on the very surface. The haze that looks like it's on the surface is not a haze, possibly cities. And the buildings are just like on Earth, but they have the same reflectivity as the surface. So now I'm showing the bottom photo, which is the original way I caught it. No tampering, no enhancement, nothing. To the top, we could see that the bridge, which I'm always mentioning, the two-part looks like a wishbone. We could see it, but look at the bottom. We can't see it. This is the exact same photo. I haven't moved it at all. It's the exact same photo. I'm showing the same photos. I just switched the bottom one back to its regular form. And look at the top, how enhancing it and putting it in X-ray, like the top is an X-ray, we can see the surface far better. Montes Apenninus, X-ray. Eratosthenes crater is right at the bottom there, connected to Montes Apenninus. Look where I will put a star for you. I want you to notice the object under the star when the star disappears. Follow the trail of the white line that goes downwards and over Montes Apenninus. Now here's the object I want you to see that has a tunnel leaving it, a white thin line. I'm going to put up the star so that you can see the object. Now look to where it's connected, that white line where it goes to. I'm going to show you a star where the little white line ends there. Do you see that that's connected? Hundreds and hundreds of miles probably, because we're so close up. So this could be maybe 50 miles at least, right? What is that? People don't see that, and it's inside of Montes Apenninus. It crosses over, and there are more towering structures inside of it. And looking at it like this, we don't really see mountains, do we? The blur that's on the right there are structures. That's the thing. This light gray patchy areas all over the moon are structures. What looks like the same texturing as ejecta and or the lava tubes, we see one protruding here from the surface, whether it be a chimney stack that's straight up in the sky. Don't forget, we have the optical illusion that some things are lying down. Some people are saying, oh, it's a bridge. Okay, well, it could be something coming out of the surface upwards, or it could be lying on the surface. But there's a dome structure, a very perfectly spherical dome at the end, but on top of this, structures in the white. This particular photo has white, grayish lines going through and dripping down. You can see just to the left of the red circle there, between the rock and the red circle, you can see a line coming down. Well, that is a line of objects and or structures. And look at it as we zoom in here, and beautiful clear shot in the north side of the moon here. We can see this beautiful ejecta-like either chimney stack or corridor or pipe, whatever it may be. It's pretty geometrically symmetrical. Quite a few new things in this video. This is the supposed spaceship. I say supposed because I mean a lot of people, a lot of channels talk about this area. And this is inside of a crater in the Southern Highlands. Beautiful. The north side of the Southern Highlands, meaning at the very top of the Southern Highlands. Yeah. Now we're going to see it enhanced. We're going to talk about the color on the surface, how it is natural. It's all there. Each independent object or structure is a particular color. I'll get a star up here. Look at the white beam bridge like structure, because by the way, there's a city on this object. Another fascinating thing is that there is a very big, large crater hole inside of this object that's in this crater. This is why they talk about the spaceship that's in the crater, that's half lodged inside of the crater. Yes, we can see that here, whether it is or not. But again, it looks inhabited because there's many structures on the surface of this object. Now, we'd have to get in pretty close to see them. I've shown them before, but again, yes, you have to get in pretty close. And so I have for you guys, isn't it beautiful? And on the surface, now here's what I want you to understand. The beautiful structuring that you see right now on this object, say to yourself, between all these objects that you're seeing are buildings. And they're very close to the surface, guys. They're pretty much everywhere in this photo, I'm assuming. Of course, I don't have the proof, right? So we're going step by step. We can see this one here in the center is pretty cool. Guys, it's already a 13-minute video. I'll get more up. There's a lot more to show. Step by step, together we'll get through it. I'd like to give a special thank you to Joseph Nolan for contributing so generously. Joseph, welcome to the community, along with all these other people. The great list continues on of generous donors, people who have got the telescope for this channel. It's the community. And now an observatory. The dream, the community's dream and my dream are going to become a reality. Lots to come, guys. Check out WSO YouTube channel and see what he's getting up in the sky.